and welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands, FITV's very own podcast.
Yes.
And guess where we are today?
Live in location at the Dockyard Museum for the Macmillan Coffee Morning.
I know, there's lots of lovely cakes and it's very, very busy. People have been very busy baking, haven't they?
I know, it's been mad. I can't believe the amount of cakes and savoury little bits and pieces that everyone's put out.
I know.
It's just insane.
This is your first coffee morning, isn't it,
It's
Carl?
my
How are you
first
finding it?
It's intimidating, to be honest. There's so much food and so many people. And I was expecting it to be this quiet little coffee morning with maybe a cup of tea and a couple of the tables.
But what it is the museum hosts every year a Macmillan Coffee Morning. I think they go on worldwide Macmillan Coffee Mornings, but it's to raise money for
Cancer,
Macmillan nurses.
Macmillan nurses.
Yeah.
If I can say the word.
And every year the museum hosts it, and they do really well. I think you were saying they've raised about £15,000
Yeah,
so far.
they've been doing it for, this is the 5th year, but for the past 4 years, they've raised £15,000 over the past 4 years. And last year they raised £4,000, which is amazing.
Oh, wow. So fingers crossed this year they'll be able to beat their record.
Fingers crossed. Bumpy year.
Bumpy.
There's plenty of cakes.
Yeah.
They deserve it, really.
They do. We deserve some cake after the
We
week we've
do.
had, though. God.
Oh, my God.
Can you tell, what were we up to earlier on in the week? We had quite a lot
Well,
on.
Saturday, me and Tom were out and about filming the farewell to the Clyde.
Yes, HMS Clyde has been serving the Falklands as a patrol vessel for 12 years. Am I right in
12
saying
years,
that?
something like that.
So
and it spent its entire operational career down in the Falklands, which is amazing. But yeah, so we were saying goodbye to that. We were down at the church, down at the cathedral, as they were having a service and saying goodbye, farewell. And the Navy crew that cruised the Clyde had a little march through town and sang some hymns, and it was really quite nice.
And they were all dressed up in their uniforms as well,
all dressed
weren't they?
up, prim and proper in their Navy uniforms. As they marched down the street, and unfortunately the weather was a bit hit and miss.
Well, it was funny, wasn't it? Because I remember looking out the curtains that morning and thinking, oh God, it looks awful. It was snowing and sleeting. The next minute, sunshine and lovely.
If you watch the footage, and I think Tom's put it in his piece, the footage starts off with it snowing, and as they walk down the road, it's all sunny. So it was a bit...
a nice
farewell.
farewell.
A bit weird. Yeah, it was a lovely farewell. It was a lovely chance to say goodbye to them all.
So you have to catch our show online, episode 448.
Yep.
And you can catch the Clyde.
Catch the Clyde farewell.
Yeah.
But
you've also been doing something else military this week, haven't you?
Yes, I was up at Fix as the Welsh Guard came down to talk to some of the kids that were down there. And run them through all kinds of different activities that the Welsh Guard do. So they were learning how to march properly, they were learning how to make a ration pack, they were learning how to put up shelters, they were doing an obstacle course and brain exercises where they had to... So there was this big circle that had a chair in the middle, and they were given 2 ropes, and they had to move the chair from the circle using these ropes, and they couldn't touch the chair. Team building exercises.
That's very exciting. And I had a quick look at some of your footage, and it looked as though they were putting on wall paint. Am I right in saying this? Camouflage wall paint. Did you have a go?
I did not. I wanted to have a go, but the kids, obviously, you give the kids some paint, and obviously they're going to start putting it everywhere they can. But they were putting it all over their faces, and the Welsh Guard were all like, well, that's not coming off anytime soon. That's all going to be pretty permanent for a while, which is funny because I think they all had to go home for lunch, and they obviously had to go home wearing all this camouflage face paint to show their parents.
Good God.
But it's a good thing it wasn't picture day.
Am I right in saying that they're thinking about maybe doing a cadets programme?
Well, I think the idea is being thrown around at the minute. I think a couple of people in the school are kind of tossing the idea about maybe starting a cadets branch in the Falklands, and I think it could be really good because the kids on the day seemed like they really enjoyed themselves, and I think it's a good way of teaching some discipline and teaching some
these
kind of
clubs are so
skills
good for kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I remember when I was younger, I used to be part of a thing called horse rangers.
You're
probably thinking, what on earth is horse rangers?
God, that sounds very posh.
I shall tell you about my horse rangers experience. It was like brownies, but on horses. So one weekend you would go out and you would go on a hack out in the park, bushy park, go for a nice ride out there. The next weekend you'd be mucking out the stables, and you paid for this.
Lovely.
Can you believe it? But you could collect different badges.
It sounds a bit like it was just free labour.
Yes, well, it kind of was. But you got to collect badges, and you could become captains and this and that, and you had a very smart uniform. I have to see if I can dig out a photo of it
definitely.
for the podcast. For the listeners, so they can have a laugh at what I look like in my uniform. But it didn't last very long. I think I was only there for about a couple of months, and then that was it. Had enough.
Had enough of mucking out the stables.
Yeah. Were you in any sort of clubs when you were
No, I wasn't. I wasn't part of the Scouts. The only club that I was a part of was I did karate for like 5 years, something like that.
What?
Yeah.
You did 5 years worth of karate?
I
Carl,
did.
you've kept this secret. And this is another thing Carl's kept secret. It's Carl's birthday.
It is my birthday today.
It's his birthday.
Which
He's kept it very secret.
I've not kept it
Kyle
secret.
has kept it hush
Kyle.
hush. So hopefully we'll be celebrating. I've made him pick up lots of cake, but I'm looking at your plate and it's looking very savoury actually.
It is. Well, I've got some cookies. I've got a Mars bar crispy thing, which sounded very exciting, and then some scones and a vol au vent full of tuna. So, you know.
That sounds very nice. But we will drag you out for your birthday,
Yes.
Carl, kicking and screaming, karate chopping us out.
Karate chopping. Well, you know, I've got the skills to defend myself. So.
Yeah, true. we also had quite a nice social time, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We did. We went down to the cinema.
Yes. What did we see? It was a film that you and Tom had never seen, which I was quite shocked at.
Which was your one of your favourite films?
Yes.
Apocalypse Now.
Yes, but it was a final cut, wasn't it?
So it was 3 hours long, and we watched it. When did we
Don't
start
make
watching
out
it?
like it's a hardship.
No, I'm not
Come
making
on.
out like it's a hardship. I'm just saying it's 3 hours long. We'd watched it after work at like 7:30 at night. Didn't get out of the cinema till 10:30. And it was excellent. It was really, really good, actually. I didn't really know what to expect from it walking into it, because I thought, I know it's about Vietnam, and I know it's a war film. Is it going to be some generic kind of rah-rah military, rah-rah shooting?
No, it's actually a very good
And
film.
no,
it's quite critical of
That's what I
the
thought
American
as well.
Army and things. It's Marlon Brando's last ever film appearance, I think.
And it has a surprising amount of stars, because Martin Sheen's in it.
Yep.
You told me Lawrence Fishburne
Yep,
as a teenager was in it,
teenager,
which was very surprising.
I know, you wouldn't realise it was him.
I wouldn't have guessed in a million years.
So to anyone out there who likes Apocalypse Now, just write us a message
Yes.
and tell us how much you like it, because it's one of my favourite
Watch
films.
it again.
And watch it again. The final cut is definitely worth watching.
Definitely,
It's
definitely.
in 4K. They've upped the colour. They've done a load of high quality things. Where the
beautifully
sound
shot.
is nice.
There's so many
There's lots of
beautiful
cross
parts of
dissolves
it.
that we absolutely love
the
in
cross
editing.
dissolves. I was watching it going, why can't we just do every single package like we do that?
I know.
Cross dissolving between everything.
I know. It was a very good film. But speaking of very good films and pieces to camera, Kyle finally got his bird piece done this week.
Finally.
Can we believe it?
It's been weeks in the making.
Tell us a little bit, give us a little hint of what it's about.
So some people posted a couple of videos on Facebook of livestock and animals being attacked by birds of prey in the Falklands, and it caused a bit of a stir. Because obviously if you're a farmer and you've got sheep out in the fields, you don't want them getting attacked and don't want them getting really wounded or like possibly dying because of these birds and stuff. But obviously the birds are protected and they're all under all kinds of conservation laws.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of friction between farmers and conservation.
And there's quite a lot of birds of prey here actually. We've
There
got
are.
turkey vultures and caracaras. I'll get some of the screenshots, some of the
shots.
stills, so
Yeah.
we can show the listener what we're talking about here. If you're thinking, what on earth's a turkey vulture?
Yep.
It's not a cross between a turkey and a vulture. That's one thing.
Although
I will
it does
say.
kind of look like that.
It does a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it's got
we
this big
we'll
red
let
head.
the listener decide
Yeah.
on that one. But
it's finally done. It's been
I know
weeks in the making.
what happened, Carl.
Well,
tell us the process. I mean, we did have a couple of hurdles to
Yeah.
get over.
Well, I think-
i.e., where do we do pieces to camera with these birds
Exactly.
in the background?
Exactly.
So, little secret, we did end up going down to the dump and
Where
getting
there's
a
always
nice shot of Carl with
Yep.
some seagulls in the background.
We-
Not a bird of prey, but
We didn't get
Close enough.
pooped on, but we did step in a lot of bird
Yes,
poop, which
we
was
did.
unfortunate.
but it's finally
But-
done. What took so long? Come on, Carl.
Well, it kept getting bumped. And every week it was like, oh, his bird's almost done. And I was like, well, I've not, yeah, it's like getting there. And it's like, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll just put it on next week.
Well,
and then
this
that week
week-
it was, we'll just put it on next week.
This week
And
it's finally on, so
Yes.
it's been long awaited. Carl's
Long
been working
awaited.
at it very hard. So, listener, check out our website, watch episode 448,
Yep.
because Carl will be
It's-
on there talking about birds of prey.
talking
A
about
very
birds
serious
of prey.
subject,
And,
actually.
and you know what? Count the amount of times I say birds of prey in that piece, because I tell you what, it's too many times.
But it is a good piece.
It is.
It's a very good
It is.
piece.
I hope it's informative, at the very least.
But yeah, we also filmed Talking Point this week, didn't we?
We
First
did.
time we've ever filmed it in the Harbour Lights cinema. They've got a conference room, brand new swanky conference room.
Lovely,
and
beautiful
we thought
conference
we'd
room.
hire it out for Richard Cockwell
Yep.
to do his episode of Talking Point every Every month we do, it's about 40 minutes long show with Richard Cockwell called Talking Point, where he talks about different subjects and issues.
He quizzes some of the MLAs,
quizzes
some people in business
special guests about issues that are going on in the islands. And
it's usually quite informative and usually quite interesting.
This one was about the capital plan. It's not out yet, so listener, you will have to wait a couple of weeks for that. But it's a very good one. It's very interesting. And the room looks very nice,
the room looks very nice. It took us about half an hour to move all the tables and get them unlinked from each other.
Yes.
But we got it looking nice.
But it did look nice,
Yeah, it did. I think it's going to be a really good venue for Talking Point in the future.
But it was probably a bit like the survival skills the kids were doing, unlinking all those tables.
Yeah, there was a bit, to be honest. There was a bit of, it needed some brain power, it needed some...
Do you know what needed some brain power today? Was trying to find the phone number of one certain man.
Oh my God.
I was trying to find a phone number today of a very certain man, because tonight is the first women's hockey tryouts for ball hockey.
Yep.
And I'm going to head down and have a go, which should be quite exciting.
Yes.
So next week you'll be able to catch that on the show. But trying to find the phone number of the man who organised it, he's elusive.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a panic this morning.
It was a wild goose chase, because
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder if people will be quite concerned. They're just trying out ball hockey for the first time, and there we are with cameras filming them falling on the floor and all sorts.
Which would make me nervous if I was doing something for the first time. If someone just suddenly turned up with a bunch of cameras to film every mistake that I've made, which apparently is what I do as a job now anyway. So.
Exactly, but this time around it will be me doing that instead.
Yes.
So I was taking the heat off the car for this week, and it will be me falling around all over the floor looking like a bit of a wally.
Yes, but you did find the phone number in the end.
I did find the phone number in the end. I am going to go down there. We are going to film it.
Yep.
I've never played hockey. Actually, that's a lie. I have played hockey when I was younger. I used to have a gum shield.
Oh.
I can't remember how long I played hockey for.
Did you just used to own a gum shield?
I think
or did you
maybe that
actually
was
play
it.
hockey?
I wanted to be part of the club and didn't know how to play. Just wanted a gum shield. That was it. That's the only reason I did it. But
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so that'll be coming up tonight, 5 till 6. I'll be sweating it. Actually, I've got Tiff May next to me, who is a very, very
Quick, we'll
good
pull her in.
hockey player. She's just started playing ball hockey. Am I right in saying that? And she plays in goal. Tiff, tell us a bit about what you do.
I've only just started really at this. I've only had my 4th game, so I've just done a full tournament of ball hockey. I've had 1 training session as a goalie, and it's been really great actually. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, people should just try it out. I was surprised. I wasn't sure I'd enjoy getting hit with balls, but it was fun.
See, I always have a look at it and think it looks like hard work. You're in a lot of gear, and you probably end up coming out quite sweaty.
Yeah.
That is true. It is a lot of gear, and it's quite hot, but I'm quite lucky. I'm so small, I fit into children's goalie kit, and so it's much lighter, and yeah, it's really good fun. You can throw yourself on the floor, and yeah, it doesn't really hurt. I've only had 1 that's hit me where I've been like, ow, and has left a slight bruise, but I was quite proud of it, to be honest.
Fingers crossed I won't be getting any bruises tonight.
Well, you never know.
Well, we never know. But thanks for that, Tiff, and hopefully we can get lots of people trying out tonight. So yeah, no, we were all quite looking forward to having a go at that. Carl, it's your birthday. Are you going to come and watch me play hockey? You've got to have a laugh. Come on.
I'll just start shouting abuse from the stands.
No, come on.
Hit her!
No, we don't want that. Speaking of hockey, I noticed that your predecessor, Katie, she was very, very into hockey. And I noticed that Paula and Steve had bumped into her in Edinburgh.
I know, which is amazing. Although I do have to say, Mrs. Foames, if you're listening, and I know you are, what was going on with the framing of that photo?
I know, terrible,
like
wasn't
half
it?
of Steve
there was a little bit of an eye. And
you can see.
Do you know what, listener? We shall put it on the podcast
Yes,
for you
yes,
to have
we
a look
shall.
at, and we can judge the poor framing of that
Katie was
photograph.
beautifully framed, but Paula had an eye. Steve had like the top of his face. Oh, God knows what was going on. I think maybe it was one of those, we briefly run into you, quick grab a photo and we'll get going.
But no, it looked like they were having a very nice time.
Yes,
They've
it
been
did.
away now for 2 weeks, and I think Paula and Steve have been doing a train trip round Scotland. Could I be right in saying that?
I've seen Paula complaining about people on the trains,
well,
but I wasn't entirely sure if they were
then.
doing a train trip.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? But they're up in Scotland having a well of a time. The weather looks nice as well.
Yes,
so.
it does.
But let's move on to, let's go back to the Macmillan coffee morning. I've noticed on that table over there to my right, I'm gesticulating to my right, that there are a lot of lovely raffle prizes there.
There are. There is an absolutely amazing looking cake. From what I can see over here.
Big chocolatey cake. We'll get you a thumbnail of that because it looks nice. I just want to cut into it now. Probably can't. I've bought some raffle tickets though. So
do you think you're going to win?
Well, let's just have a break here. Last week was a conservation ball, and I bought 4 tickets. £40 I spent on raffle tickets. And did I win a prize? No. Didn't win a prize.
You did spend a lot of money, though.
I did spend a lot of money. Actually, yes, this comes on quite nicely. I did spend a lot of money. I ended up bidding. There's an auction at the Falklands Conservation Raffle Ball. There's a big ball, an auction, a band, and 2-course, 3-course meal. Really nice. And during the auction, normally they've got these very nice pieces of art and jewellery and things like this, but they go for a lot of money that FITV wages probably can't stretch to. Mr. Foams, Mr. and Mrs. Foams, if you're listening. But I actually bid on something, and I got something.
I know.
Can you believe this? I bid on a family of felt burrs made by Eileen Davis, a very good felting
and they
artiste.
Look lovely. Artiste?
Artiste, I'm going for that.
Felt artist, that works.
Felt artist.
Feltist.
Yes, feltist. There we go.
But they do look absolutely amazing. I saw them when we went down to film the Falklands auction when they were showing off the different bits and pieces you can bid on. They look really, really lovely.
Well, this is the thing. I'd sent my mum last Christmas a felt king penguin and a chick that she had made, and I thought, you know what? If I get this felt family, that covers me for 6 months worth of presents. Or
so you're just going to be sending a bird at a time?
A bird at a time every month, bird every 2 months.
Another one for your collection.
I'm feeling nice, here's one for the collection.
Although
that's
not the most exciting thing that you came away from the auction.
Let's just clarify this. I didn't bid on this item. My other half bid on this item, which was probably, I'm not going to say a waste of money. It wasn't a waste of money. It's a very nice addition to our household. He spent £150 on an inflatable penguin.
A life-sized inflatable penguin.
Yes. And now it's sitting in our hallway greeting our guests when they arrive. So, very good investment.
To be fair, that's a lovely way to greet your guests as they come through the door. Here's our penguin.
Yes, exactly.
Just need to light a little sign on him or something.
Well, I'm hoping that this time round I'll be slightly more lucky with the raffle.
Yes.
And I'll actually win some of these nice prizes. I bought 10 tickets, and I've asked for random numbers this time. I don't want a block of numbers.
Yep.
Don't give me that block. I want a mix. I want it fair and square, so then I've got an even chance of actually maybe winning something.
That makes sense.
But speaking of winning, you actually spoke to Andrea. Don't laugh at my link. Carl's laughing at my link between this. Speaking of winning, Carl spoke to Andrea, who actually organised this Macmillan coffee morning, because they were talking about how much money they've raised last year and stuff like that.
Yep.
And this year they're hoping
to beat their records. Last year, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, they raised about £4,000. Hopefully they'll be able to beat that this year, but even if they don't, like, any amount of money, it's going to a good cause. And from the looks of the donation bins, they've already got a fair amount, so they should be doing okay. But we did do a quick interview with Andrea just to get a sense of about what's going on and why they put this on.
So we're here with the lovely ladies from the museum at the Macmillan Coffee Morning. Andrea, tell us a bit about the event you've organised.
Okay, so our annual coffee morning, and as you can see, we have got loads of people, lots of cake, lots of lovely things to eat. We were a little bit concerned because we advertised this a couple of months ago and there wasn't really that much interest. So we were a little bit concerned and we thought, oh, should we do it this year, shouldn't we? And of course, once we put it on Facebook and said, do people want this? The response was tremendous. And so we had nothing to worry about. I think we just go into a little panic mode when we realised that we're going to have hundreds of people coming through and not have the cake to give them. But no, so huge thank you to everybody that's baked or donated for the raffle. It's been amazing.
Well, this year, I went last year and it seems like this year there is more cake than ever. Am I right in saying that? There's tables going around the edges. I don't remember that.
That's because we were ready for lots of cake. Because last time it was on benches and stuff. There's still one bench.
So I think the ladies actually put, because I wasn't here last night to set it all out, but the ladies actually put a couple more tables out because last year we had the sledge, if you remember, there was cake all over the sledge and the benches and stuff. So a little bit more organised this year. Incredible amount of cake.
And you ladies have both been very busy baking. I actually got a chance to taste Tasman's very lovely pinwheels. Tell us a bit about your pinwheels.
It's my Auntie Diana's recipe. They're not quite as good as hers because she's had lots of practice and this is my only third time making them. My pastry was a bit iffy. My brother said they were dry. There wasn't enough cheese in them, and it took me until 10:30 last night to actually try and make any.
Well, I had one and I thought they were lovely. I didn't think they were dry at all.
Well, that's all right then.
Do you realise though that she actually only said that her Auntie Diana's were better because it's being aired?
No!
Auntie Diana, if you're listening.
Auntie Diana came and tasted them,
No.
and she was just like, they're all right.
They're all right.
like, thanks.
They have a little competition, don't you? For when
Oh,
you,
yeah.
when you enter
A horticultural show, because she puts in a chocolate cake. And she won first prize for her chocolate cake, but I think she cheated. She definitely bribed the judges.
Now you guys do this every year. Why is an event like this so important?
because, I know that it's a UK charity, but a lot of people from here that go away for treatment are actually helped by Macmillan. So why not? And really that's what it comes down to.
And this year you're hoping to raise quite a lot of money. I remember last year you raised...
Just over 4,000. I think in total we've raised...
Go on. £15,205.97.
That's since 2015.
Wow.
So that's 4 coffee mornings we raised that. So this year, it would be great to raise over the 4,000. But I should also add that the 4,000 that we raised is not just our coffee morning. It's the coffee mornings that other people have done, like the KMH or the school. So it's all the little coffee mornings as well combined. So yeah, I know that the KMH are having one this year. I haven't heard of anybody else's.
Well, fingers crossed you guys can beat that figure. That would be lovely. Anyway, I'll let you ladies go and enjoy some tea and some cake. Thank you for joining us. Every year she organises this event, and they put a lot of hard effort and time into it, and baking.
I know. No, well, that's one of the things I was a bit surprised about, because I was like, oh yeah, obviously the money is what you focus on, but then the amount of effort that goes into making all these wonderful cakes and savoury bits and pieces is insane.
It's an absolute steal. You pop a donation in, you can get as much cake as you want.
Yeah.
Or you can eat buffet, that's what I'm thinking.
That's certainly the way we're treating it.
Exactly. But anyway, this weekend we've got a very, very busy weekend. Carl, you're doing your first sporting package, am I right in saying that?
I think I am. Is this my first sporting package?
I think this is.
I've done something on the hockey before.
Yeah, but
this is my first solo sporting package.
I know. What's going on this weekend?
So
Tell.
I've got to film the entire badminton national open tournament.
Well, Thomas and I do nothing, obviously.
Obviously, because you don't do as much work as I do.
Yes.
But no, I'm going over to the badminton tournament to film that and interview some of the, because it's a mix of like the professional players and the amateur players. So I'm going to interview them and see how the amateurs feel like they can compare to the pros, and see if the pros have got any new techniques or got any new kind of, if they're aiming for the top and who they think they're going to be challenged by this year. Then. And
you don't fancy popping yourself in for it this
No,
time round?
well...
I mean, I don't think, since you've arrived on these islands, I don't think I've ever seen you partake in a sport, Carl.
I'm not a very sporty person. Sport doesn't tend to agree with me, and I don't tend to agree with it. So I was always that kid that was like, oh great, PE, yay. This seems like a waste of time.
I forgot my PE kit. I can't do it, possibly.
See, I wasn't that kid, because I was like, look, that's just going to get me more trouble. Instead, if we've got to play football, I'm going to stand as far away from the ball as possible and just pretend to be making an effort. So that was my plan.
But we've also got other sporty things going on. I'm off to the motocross this weekend, which is the first race of the motocross season. It's at the pond track. I love doing the motocross. Yeah. Great fun, lots of mud, get down in the middle of the track. But so we've got the motocross this weekend, and then we've also got Tom is going up Longdon.
I know.
With Safe Lane Global
he's
or
go track them Marathon for their charity initiative.
Yes, it's to do with the D miners, I think, are going up Longdon to raise some money for charity, which is great as well.
Which is nice. It's a charity that deals with people that have been injured by landmines and injured by that kind of explosive ordnance and stuff. So it's a good cause.
But it always amazes me, and even being here at the Macmillan Coffee Morning, how much people rally together here in the community.
The amount of charity events that happen and the amount of money they raise is absolutely insane. It's amazing.
I find it, I don't know about you as well, but I find it makes our job more enjoyable, because we get to go to all these social events and these charity events and actually talk to the people who are doing it and figure out what they're actually doing. Get a sense of what's
going on and learn about all these kinds of things. Like, I wouldn't have even known there is a charity for people that have been affected by landmines and stuff like that, or affected by all these other things, and it's just nice to see. It's nice to see that people have that much care about for this kinds of stuff.
Anyway, on that note, on that caring note, we're going to head off and get some more nibbles, I think. Some more nibbles and coffee. Catch our podcast on our SoundCloud and on iTunes. Meanwhile, in the Falklands, if you're not already catching it, obviously you're catching it because you're listening now.
Exactly.
Catch our show.
Tell other people.
8. The channels keep changing.
Channels
it's on
keep
KTV. It's online.
Just keep scrolling through your remote and you'll find it.
Have a look for our show. Catch Carl talking about birds of prey. Jam-packed show this week. And we will catch you next week for our next podcast.
Yes, we will. See you later.
See you later.